1 ball, 1 strike. Now Rushing pulls one high in the air toward the Rocky bullpen and gone. Dalton does it again.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, AJ Cassavell. It's Tuesday, April 21st. Let's talk baseball. The Dodgers lost their closer, but they still have the sport's best record, and Shohei Ohtani, who reached base again. The Braves are right on their heels, and they dealt with an injury scare of their own, but seem to have avoided the worst. The Cubs stayed hot, the Phillies stayed not. Vlad Jr. did his best Vlad Sr. impersonation, going deep at Angel Stadium, and the Red Sox won on Marathon Day. Let's get right to it. The Dodgers and Braves own the 2 best records in baseball, but they were both hit with injury concerns yesterday. First, LA. Closer Edwin Díaz will undergo surgery tomorrow to remove loose bodies from his pitching elbow. Díaz was a premium free agent signing with the Dodgers during the offseason. He now seems likely to miss the first half of the season at least. But the Dodgers are still the Dodgers.
This one's not on the ground, it's in the air to deep right field, and Max Muncy has tied the game. Now Rojas charges up to deep left field. Back-to-back blasts.
After 2 straight losses, the Dodgers routed the Rockies 12-2 on Monday night, earning a split of their weekend series in Colorado. Max Muncy went 4 for 4 and homered twice. Miguel Rojas went 3 for 3 and collected his 1,000th career hit. Dalton Rushing continued his ridiculous start to the season with homers in his final 2 at-bats. He's now hit 7 of them in 28 trips to the plate this season. And, of course, Shohei Ohtani did his part as usual.
Quintana with the 2-2. Pulled to right. That's down for a hit. A leadoff single for Shohei Ohtani in the 3rd. On-base streak. Add 1 more, now 52.
Ohtani is now 6 games shy of Duke Snider's franchise record 58-game on-base streak that he set in 1954. He's 1 away from matching Shawn Green for the 2nd spot in franchise history. Ohtani still has a ways to go before he even begins to approach Ted Williams' record 84-game on-base streak, but come on, it's Shohei Ohtani. You wouldn't put it past him. The Dodgers are 16-6, the best record in baseball. The Braves are 16-7. They won Monday night too, 9-4 over the Nationals, and they've won 6 straight. And their injury news was a whole lot better than LA's. Ronald Acuna Jr. was hit by 2 pitches from Nationals starter Jake Irvin. He got clipped on the arm guard, then square on the left hand. Acuna would leave the game, but x-rays came back negative, and he is considered day-to-day. Both benches were later warned an inning later when Bryce Elder plunked C.J. Abrams, but there would be no further fireworks, just an easy Braves victory. I think we all expected the Dodgers to be one of the best teams in baseball this season. They're the 2-time defending champs. They added Kyle Tucker and Edwin Díaz to that roster. Even without Díaz, it's a quality bullpen, an excellent rotation, the best lineup in baseball. They'll get by for a few months if they have to. But I think we also entered the season kind of wondering which teams might emerge as the challengers to the Dodgers' throne, particularly in the National League. The Mets and the Phillies were popular picks. The Braves, they won 76 games last year, but it's starting to look like last year was the anomaly. This Braves team is a perennial contender. Their core has done it before. They'd reached the postseason in 7 straight seasons before last year's letdown. It's a core with Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson, Austin Riley and Michael Harris. On the pitching side, Chris Sale and Bryce Elder lead the way. The bullpen is nasty. Even if Acuna were to miss some time, I expect the Braves would be just fine. There's nothing fluky about their hot start. They're good. They might be really good. Good enough to challenge the Dodgers? You know what? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a long season, and we are a long, long way from finding out. The Padres are in the mix, half a game back of the Braves. The Diamondbacks look threatening. The whole entire National League Central has a winning record. There's really no point in making postseason proclamations from 3.5 weeks of games. I'm just saying that if the Braves were to emerge as a serious contender this summer, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. Would you? What they're doing looks awfully sustainable. If we're starting to get a small amount of clarity in the National League, we are getting absolutely none of that in the AL. I have no idea which of these teams is good. Every team has at least 9 losses. There's only one team more than 2 games over 500, the Yankees at 13-9. Will the real contenders please stand up? Toronto looked the part last night.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets it in the air, and it is gone. He's always got a little extra hop in his step when he comes to Anaheim.
The Blue Jays beat the Angels 5-2 with the homer from Vlad in the ballpark where his dad hit so many of them. Dylan Cease, meanwhile, punched out 12 across 5 innings of 2-run ball. The Blue Jays are off to a sluggish start. Are they still feeling the effects of a long October into November last year? Who knows? It honestly probably has more to do with the injury concerns elsewhere in their rotation. But this was a reminder of what it should look like for Toronto. You have to think the Jays will hit their stride at some point. Same with the Mariners, but likewise, it hasn't been pretty in Seattle thus far. The M's dropped the opener of a 3-game series against the A's 6-4 on Monday night. An extremely disappointing result, considering the way the evening started.
The 3-1 coming his way. He shoots this high and deep with authority. The opposite way, gone! Oppo blast, Cal Raleigh.
Cal Raleigh homered, Josh Naylor hit an RBI double, the Mariners led 3-0 early, and then...
Swung on, driven. Out towards right center field, and Nick Kurtz has a homer. The no-fly zone just received a Nick Kurtz souvenir. Payoff pitch, well struck to center field. Julio Rodriguez on the move back, and Langoliers is added. A tied ball game in Seattle off a Shea homer. He has 7 on the season.
The A's scored 6 straight runs and won 6-4. They're 12-11, the only team above 500 in the AL West. The Mariners are 10-14. After the break, 2 teams headed in opposite directions in the National League and a dramatic win in Boston. Elsewhere around baseball, it was Marathon Day in Boston, and the Red Sox hosted their annual Patriots Day game on Monday morning. Tied with Detroit in the 7th inning, Ceddanne Rafaela came to the plate with the bases loaded.
Poked in, into right field, a base hit. How about that? Yoshida's in, Story coming in. He will score.
Rafaela's 2-run single put Boston on top for good and earned the Sox a split of their weekend series against the Tigers. Next up for Boston, the first series of the year between the Red Sox and Yankees. It gets underway tonight. Meanwhile, the Cubs cruised past the Phillies 5-1 on Monday night. Dansby Swanson went deep. Alex Bregman had 2 hits. The Cubs' defense was predictably excellent. They've won 6 straight, and the Phillies have lost 6 straight. It's early. It's still an immensely talented roster in Philadelphia, but they're losing ground on Atlanta by the day. Isaac Paredes hit 2 home runs as the Astros pummeled the Guardians 9-2. The Marlins snapped the Cardinals' 5-game winning streak with a 5-3 victory. Sal Stewart hit his 8th homer as the Reds beat the Rays 6-1. And the Orioles won a wild game over the Royals 7-5 in 12 innings, a game in which Kansas City pounded out 14 hits but left a whopping 16 runners on base. The game went to extras tied at 1 before both scored a run apiece in the 11th, and the Orioles scored 5 in the 12th before the Royals responded with 3, and fittingly, the game ended with Kansas City stranding another runner in scoring position. That's all for today's morning lineup. Thanks for hanging out. As always, please leave us a rating and a review and share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life. Enjoy your day.